If you've got 5 minutes to spare and need a refresher on the Game of Thrones saga, here's a quick breakdown of everything that went down in Season 1, but beware. This video is dark and full of spoilers and some family moments that are not so family-friendly. The series opens in the northern wastes of Westeros, at a time when the continent is nearing the end of a long, peaceful summer and facing the prospect of winter. Once again, a group of Night's Watch soldiers are attacked by undead White Walkers. From the very beginning, the series shows viewers that the true enemy lurks far to the north, even as Westeros's great houses scheme and plot against each other on the other side of the wall. Eddard Ned Stark tries to keep the peace, and Winterfell the old-fashioned way, but soon enough, King Robert Baratheon and his extensive entourage paid Ned and his family a visit. Robert wants Ned to serve as the new king's head. Ned would just as soon stay home because the job description sounds, well, the king shits and the hand wipes. But once it becomes clear that previous hand, Ned's old friend Jon Arryn, was murdered, Ned reluctantly decides to pack up and move to King's Landing to protect his old war buddy. Ned brings his 2 daughters, the ladylike Sansa and the tomboyish Arya, along. For the journey, he leaves his eldest son some big-time Lannister incest. Jaime pushes him out of the tower window, leaving him permanently paralyzed, and with just a bit of amnesia, Men is not thrilled with what he finds when he arrives in King's Landing. Robb to rule Winterfell alongside Lady Catelyn and his other sons, Bran, and reckon that Bran has much of a choice. After climbing around on the castle walls he spies, he uncovers evidence that Jaime was the true father of all 3 of Sierra's children, and that Robert's true heir is actually a bastard. Blacksmith's apprentice named Gendry. Fortunately, Ned is not great at politics or dealing with backstabbing advisors like Littlefinger and Varys, but since there weren't any tower windows, Handy seriously arranges the death of her husband and has Ned imprisoned, her disgusting son. Joffrey is crowned king, and one of his first acts is to publicly execute Nick. Arya is able to escape King's Landing during the fallout, but Sansa finds herself trapped in the city and facing the prospect of marrying disgusting Joffrey back in Winterfell. Stark-Lannister relations were already falling apart when Catelyn blamed Cersei's brother Tyrion for Bran's fall. Tyrion clears his name with a little help from an opportunistic mercenary named Bran and returns to King's Landing. But once news of Ned's death reaches Winterfell, all hell breaks loose. Winterfell secedes from the 7 kingdoms, and Robb is declared king in the north after scoring some early victories in capturing Jaime. Robb's legend begins to grow. The Robb isn't the only challenger to the throne, hello, half a world away. The surviving Targaryen Tsar, plotting their comebacks, be possibly more disgusting than Joffrey Viserys, marries off his young sister Daenerys to barbarian warlord Khal Drogo, but it isn't long before Viserys pushes his luck too far and finds himself wearing an entirely different sort of crown. Zooming, he wasn't dead before he hit the ground and could actually find himself doing anything. Daenerys finds herself falling in love with her new husband and his people, even as her faithful bodyguard. Ser Jorah Mormont makes googly eyes at her. She also narrowly escapes an assassin sent from King's Landing. Sadly, Daenerys winds up losing both Drogo and their unborn child, and returned, though she gains 3 new fire-breathing children and the new moniker Mother of Dragons. It's the first step in her journey towards conquering both Essos and Westeros and reclaiming her birth record back in Westeros. Ned's bastard son, Jon Snow, decides there's no place for him at Winterfell and swears allegiance to the Night's Watch. He's also hoping to track down his uncle Benjen, who was cool to Jon at a party once, but is now missing somewhere beyond the wall. Jon doesn't find many friends at Castle Black, apart from the sheltered, bookish Samwell Tarly and the elderly Maester Aemon, who just so happens to be another surviving Targaryen. Jon does attract the eye of Lord Commander Jorah Mormont, a strange father to Sir Friends Alert. I mean Ser Jorah, who recognizes Jon as one of the few decent and honorable men in the Night's Watch. He even bestows upon Jon Dewa MOT family sword, Long Club, one of the few Valyrian. Steel weapons still remaining, and not a moment too soon, as the dead are quickly beginning to wake up in the icy lands beyond Wall. And so at the end of Season 1, we know that the White Walkers hate fire, Joffrey is disgusting, Rob's a boss, Sean Bean literally cannot survive anything he's in, and damned if we're not excited about these dragons for more Game of Thrones. Check out Cinna fixes What's the Difference About Sex in Westeros, as well as our breakdown of 3 brilliant moments from the Battle of the Bastards. And as always, be sure to subscribe wherever you like to watch America Unit.